Hi everybody, I am back with another junk journal that I am listing on Etsy within the next couple days, and so I thought I would give you a sneak peek of this new one. Okay, let's move in. Okay, so this particular journal is made out of an old book cover. It's a Funk and Wagnalls Standard Encyclopedia. And let's see, I don't know, I have no idea what Unterwalden Zymotic means, but it sounds pretty neat, doesn't it? I don't know what. Anyhow, so here's the cover. I started out by spraying it with some glimmer mist sprays and different things like that, because it started out purple, but it was more of a grayish purple, and so I wanted to make it look a little more like a real purple or rich purple. And I think the gray was because it was just so old and kind of faded, and I left a little bit of that on the spine, as you can see, but the front and back are definitely more purple. For some reason it's showing up as blue in the camera or on the screen, but this is purple, you guys. So anyway, let's dig in. Okay, so as you can see, I did the invisible the invisible binding, or whatever you call that, where you sew your signatures onto a piece of thick cardstock and then you adhere it to the inside of the spine. Okay, and so here's the inside front cover. And what I did on the inside is just layered it with some tissue paper and rubbed it with some metallic rub. This is a purple color. Let's see, I don't know if I've got any. Nope, I don't have any as an example to show you, but anyhow, so rub that. And then for the pocket here, I just took the inside of an envelope, the part where you slide the card inside of. I took that part and I just cut it off the rest of the envelope and folded it in half, and then adhered it down. Before I adhered it, I'm not talking right, you guys. Before I adhered it down, I don't know if you can see that, but I reinforced it with washi tape just to make it stronger. And then I did my... No, lovely. There's my cat. She sees a little bug or fly or something. Okay, and so here's some tags. I like to make a lot of tags so I can have them on hand for my projects and just slip them in. So this tag was a basic tag that I inked with Tim Holtz inks, and then I stamped. So I did a little stamp collage work on that one. This one is just parchment paper that I cut into a tag shape, and it's been coffee stained, and then I stamped with 2 different colors of brown for the face and butterfly. So that's that one. Okay, I'm really detailed, you guys, but this is seam binding, and then this one here is just some, I sprayed some glimmer mist on some just cotton fabric that I had, and actually this is just the rest of the cotton fabric that I put on the inside of the spine before I, you know, adhered the... There goes my cat. Oh, stop it, lovely. Drive me nuts. Okay, so then here we have some antique lace pieces here. There's a tatted doily and then a flower. I cut a lot of these flowers out from an really old dress that I got at the Goodwill Way store, or Way by the Pound or whatever. And the dress had holes all in it, but the lace was perfect. So, and then I just covered it with a flower. So, and then I've got some lace trim here. Obviously, this is a Victorian calling card that I found probably at some thrift store or some sale or something. It was in a bag with a whole bunch of other stuff. So, okay, as you can see, I've got coffee staining on all the pages. So, isn't that so cute? I've seen people do this. This is like a doily stencil with your coffee staining. And then this is just a tag from some craft paper. Okay, punch. I like this punch here, so I thought I'd put that in. Okay, and then here's a glassine bag with just some washi tape on it. This is, I think it's just a card for old seam binding, vintage seam binding card, where they'd wrap the seam binding on the card and then put it in the package. Okay, lots of journaling, stamped lace, or punch lace, sorry. Okay, and then this here, it got really, really dark. This is just wax, no, it's not wax paper, sorry, tracing paper. You can't really write on wax paper, I don't think. You can write on vellum, but you have to use a marker if you write on vellum. But with tracing paper, you can use a regular pen or a marker. And so anyway, this is just a genuine Victorian piece of ephemera. I got it in like a bag with, you know, like that calling card I showed you earlier. And there are lots of other little tidbits in there. And I didn't have to do anything to it. It was already cut this way. And I think it was cut out of an advertisement card or something like that. And I just added this little bit of mesh, silver mesh up here. So this here is a pocket. Okay, and then on this side, this is just a stamp. I stamped it onto paper and cut it out and inked it. And then I punched this butterfly out and inked it and put that on there. Here's just a basic tag that I made here with a cute stamp on it. Colored that in. And then here's just some... here's the other part of that envelope that I made the pocket out of in the front here. This is just the side where you write the address and all that stuff. I used it as a page. Okay, journaling. There's the middle of the first signature. This is just some freestyle. This is the other side of that envelope page that I just showed you. My cat, she did some of her own artwork here by ripping my page. So I just did this and added the butterflies and whatnot. You can add on to this. It doesn't have to stay this way, but that was my way of fixing the problem. Okay, so here, this is a wax seal that I did. There is a wonderful company online by the name of Nostalgic Impressions, and they sell sealing wax and wax seals and inks and stationery kind of thing, but they have a wonderful array of waxes that you can buy, and I get their king size wax, and it's not the old world wax, which they do sell. That's the kind that cracks where you can break the seal. This is the flexible kind, so it can go in the mail and all that kind of stuff. So what I did was just did my wax seal, and then I rubbed some metallic rub on that, on the impression part, just to bring it up to the surface a little bit more. Okay, and then on this side I have I make a lot of these as well, like I make the tags. It's an altered envelope. It's just a little envelope. It started out as like a cream color or white, and so I just inked it with Tim Holtz. I used like one of his dark purple colors, and I used some black, and then I just inked it real heavily, and then after that I inked it with I think it's Shabby Shutters or whatever you call that. It's a green color, and it just made this really sweet effect. So yes, you can stamp over dark colors with the it's his Distress inks, that's what it is. So you can stamp over dark colors with lighter colors, but it won't be bright. It'll create this real nice moody kind of color. Okay, and then these are just stamps that I stamped on after I inked everything up. So this opens up, and then inside you can store your little like tags and doodads and whatnot. So okay, and then there's some vintage gold like lace at the bottom. Okay, and then here's the other side of the envelope, which is a tuck. And this is just a little resin piece that I found. I probably got it in a bunch of, I think it was on some cheap frame or card or something, and somebody did a really poor job of like ribbon flower work. Sorry. it was bad. So I didn't feel bad about taking this off. Okay, here's the other side of the tracing paper. And then just more journaling. Okay, and then here's the other side of the glassine bag. I reinforced this with washi tape just because it makes me feel like it's a little bit stronger. And then I've just got little doodads in here that, you know, can be used throughout the book. Okay, I just love the way that turns out, especially when you heavily stain the paper. Okay, so just more journaling. Okay, and so now we are on the second signature. And just, I'm sure you recognize that, Graphic 45, Secret Garden. Just a cutout. And then a little punch here. And this is just a little artwork of mine I did with colored pencil. A little bit of gold on there. Okay, music paper. Journaling, and this here is a page that I made out of a butterfly. My daughter, she found a butterfly catcher at a little store that we were in one day, and she wanted it really bad, but she noticed that the packaging was in the shape of a butterfly, a cardboard butterfly. So she thought, oh, you know, if I get this, I'm sure Mommy will want to use the butterfly. So she brought it to me and she said, Mommy, look, you could use this. You could use this for your crafts, and I could, you know, use the butterfly catcher. So I did. I thought that was really clever of her to present it to me in that way. So, and the color on here, you guys, is just Tim Holtz Distress Ink, Milled Lavender, and I think Seedless Preserves. And, of course, it's coffee stained. It was coffee stained before. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the shimmer on that. But this one, it was really heavily coffee stained, and I didn't like it. So I went ahead and sprayed some Heidi Swapp spray on it. And so here's the other side. I've got just this little tuck here for the butterfly, or a tag if you want to put a tag in there, whatever you want to do. And then it just kind of folds out, and then you can see some more of the gold and glimmer on there. Okay, and then this page, I've got this fussy cut Graphic 45 lady here as a tuck. It's really sweet ivy stamp. I just had to use that up there. Okay, more journaling. Here's another one of those envelopes, the front side of it, where you write the address. And just a clock collage kind of stamp. Okay, here's a bigger glassine bag now. And I love how you can see through those. I just really like that. Okay, so again, I reinforced it with washi tape. And then you've just got some sweet tags. Again, here are some of those tags. I just make lots and lots of tags. Sometimes I'll make 6, maybe 8 or 10 of the same type of tag. And then they're usually real bright until I tone them down a bit with like Vintage Photo or one of the other brown distress inks. So there's that one you'll get. You'll get this steampunky kind of, that's so sweet. And then these are true Victorian cards that I got in some of that old ephemera that I told you about. So that's a nice treat. Okay, I'll just set those aside. Okay, and then on this side, you guys, I hope I'm not making you dizzy getting out of frame and all that stuff. Okay, so on this side, you know how I told you how I had folded the envelope in the front. Here, let me flip back to make the pocket here. So I did the same thing here, but instead this time I used it as the inner page, the center page of this signature. And so it's sewn in just right there. You see that? And so these are just copies of picked photographs that I found with a lot of other papers and whatnot. And so I thought they'd be great in here. So I don't have the real photos of these. These are exactly what I found. And I just put, you know, photo corners on them. Here's a little bit of, you know, kind of a lace bit there. And then this is another wax seal that I did. Isn't that so sweet? And then I put the metallic rub, the gold metallic rub, just on the raised areas. Okay, so here's the tag that slides in through here. Okay, and then again, I did reinforce the inside of this with washi tape just to give it a little more strength. Okay, and then here's the back of that. Okay, and then here's the other side of the bag. And then these are top loading. Okay, and so then this is just some fancy paper that I had. It's thin cardstock, but it's still cardstock. It's not, it's a little thicker than others. But I just added I inked it and aged it. And then I don't know if you can see that? The sparkle, that's Stickles. I thought that was a nice touch. And then it's just got this sweet dusty rose. I don't know what you call that. It's such a pretty color in person though. Okay, and then this here, let me set this down, is one of the many tags that I make. I made a lot similar to this. They weren't all the same though. But basically this is just Tim Holtz Distress Inks. I think this is, okay, Bundled Sage, Shabby Shutters, Seedless Preserves, Milled Lavender. And then I stamped over it with a Tim Holtz stamp. And then after that, I sprayed it with this texture spray called Goosebumps. And it gives a real neat texture. Can you see that? But it also has a very, very, very fine glimmer to it. Very fine. And then after I dried that with my heat tool, I went over it again with Vintage Photo. And so everywhere where this texture spray did not get, the Vintage Photo settled in. And so it makes this look really nice. And it may feel, listen to that, it feels so thick. That stuff is really, really cool. It's called Goosebumps Texture Spray. And they don't sell it anymore in the craft stores. It wasn't in there too long, but you can find it online. Okay, so here is the back of that. And somebody was looking through this and they made this rip here. So you guys, I will put more washi tape right there, okay? All right, and I'll probably reinforce around here too. Okay, so more journaling. And then I just thought that was I really like that stamp a lot. Okay, so here's the other side of the fold out page that was on that side. And so this time I've got the tuck on the side instead of in the corner. And that just comes out. I suppose you could journal on this, but you know, it's not plain. You could put, I don't know, you could journal on this. Or you could, if you want, you could gesso over it lightly and journal on it. Okay, and then this side opens up again just like the last side. I just love the colors in there. It just reminds me of a fairy's world or something. I don't know. Or some sweet butterfly lady. So here's the other side of the butterfly. Okay, more journaling. And I've got this sweet punch up here, punch out corner thing. More journaling. And then here's the last signature. This is just some really nice antique lace that I got in a stash of antique lace. More journaling. I love this. I got like an old ledger or notebook from like the 30s, and all of the pages are numbered. I just thought that was so sweet. I remember I used to find things like that in abundance in the 1990s when ephemera wasn't as valuable as it is now, and I just took it so for granted. Now it's just so much more difficult to find it. Okay, here's another butterfly page, and I just inked it with, I think, walnut stain, and this is some Heidi Swapp sprays and things like that. Another pretty corner punch there. I love that. Okay, thank you guys. You're so patient. I appreciate it. So there's good amount of journaling in here. Okay, this is an index card. You can see. So I love how the coffee just kind of makes it fade out, the the lines and whatnot. I think that's so sweet. Okay, so over here, as you can see, I did some metallic rub on the page, front and back, and got some washi tape there. Here's another one of those altered envelopes I like to do. I think I just stained this with vintage photo and probably broken china or something like that. And then I stamped over it. And then, well, what I did was I stamped, this is like permanent stamping, but then this I think was brown. I stamped with like vintage photo. And so because it's Tim Holtz Distress ink, it actually will accept Perfect Pearls very well, because the bonding agent is meant to work with Perfect Pearls and back and forth. So while it was still wet, I rubbed Perfect Pearls over it with a brush, and it turned into this purple color. And I use like Interface Violet. You know those Perfect Pearls, they're all white, but they all have an undertone of like red or green or purple or whatever. I use the violet one. And just go to Michael's or your local craft store and ask for it, or go to where you know they have that kind of craftsy stuff, and you'll find it. They still sell it there. It's a pretty popular product. And then I just rubbed gold on the edges, as you can see here. Very, very fun. Here's the inside. Let me just turn it around so you can see. So it's the same deal on the inside. And then that's washi tape there. And then I just inked over the washi tape and all this, because I don't like stark white or bright in my journals. And then I just fussy cut this butterfly out and stuck it there. And yep, there's room to fit something inside. Okay. Hopefully I'm not moving this around too much, you guys. Here is the other side of the envelope, which of course I made it into a tuck for you. Of course. I can just see pretty flowers and ribbon even right there. I think of all these ideas, but I don't want to do too much because I want people to be able to, you know, make them their own. So here's another one of those cool envelope thingies, or it's, you know, the inside of the envelope. And here's some more of those pictures. These pictures, when I found them, they weren't as aged as they look now. I definitely inked them around the edges and a little bit here and there to make them look more, you know, older and more rich and presentable. So there's a little bit of washi tape there, just a little stamp, says "Wish you were here." And then there's this woman. I gotta show you her. She's very mysterious. Look at the picture. I don't know if it shows up so well there, but can you see that she's transparent? I thought that was so neat. I wish I had more of these, or I wish I made copies of this picture before I used it. There's my cat. Her name's Lovely. Okay, please. Okay, so isn't this amazing? Isn't this wonderful? Anyway, so that's, I made her into a tag. And then here's another tag that I did, and this one is a gel transfer. It's a gel medium transfer contact paper kind of a tag, and it's more of an impression rather than. All right, my cat is. Go ahead and go down, sweetie. There we go. Sorry, you guys. Oh, this is really not the best time for this kind of thing to happen. All right, thank you, you guys. Thank you for your patience. So obviously it's more of an impression, and I knew it wouldn't turn out so well because it was like magazine paper. It was just a real pretty picture in a magazine, but I thought I'd try it, and I like it. So I put gold around the edge, as you can see, with the metallic rub. And yeah, it's coffee stain on the back. And okay, so there's that. And then here's the back of it. Okay, and then more journaling, of course. Okay, and then here is the other side of that index card, big index card. So here's some pretty... just like a little bit of like a lace kind of, I forget where I got this off of, but there wasn't very much of it, but I thought I have to use a little bit of it, and I thought that's just gotta go somewhere in the book. So it kind of folds out like that. Okay, more journaling. Okay. And then here is just a little journaling card that I made. Just stamped it here and then put a little bit of washi tape, cut it out and put it there, make it look like a stamp. This just says, "You're my cup of tea." Isn't that cute? Oh, I love that. And then it just opens out and you can journal or whatever. And of course the back can be journaled on as well. Okay, and then behind it, let's see, I don't know if you can see, there's another little corner punch up there. Just like that. Okay, and then here's the other side of that butterfly. And more journaling. Okay, and then here, this is just a little collage I did with paper and stamp. That's it. Just fold it over into a tuck here. And so this is just one of my butterfly punches. And then this is another one of those Victorian, genuine antique Victorian pieces of ephemera that I got. And then this is a key that I stamped on there. And I couldn't bear to stamp this and not have the bottom showing somewhere, so I just just did that. Okay. And let's see. I hope that I've been in focus for you guys. I'm very sorry if I haven't. Okay, and then here is the last page, and it's just a piece of scrap paper that I stamped onto and adhered it down here and here. And then you've got another wax seal that I did and just rubbed it with some of the gold metallic rub. And here is the little tag that I, stamped to go in there, I guess. Okay, and I didn't put anything on the back because I thought whoever receives this should decide what happens there. So, okay, alrighty, you guys. So, there it is. Let me go ahead and measure this for you real quick, okay? It's a really, really sweet size. Okay, so this is about, it's one of those off sizes that they used to do in those olden days. It's not even 4.5 inches. I'm an eyeballer, so I'm not so good at telling people exactly what. Just a little over 4.25, let's say that, or almost 4.5 by about 6.5. And the spine is about 1.5, okay? And then it's got 3 signatures. It's not too thick or chunky. I suppose it could be, but people like that. So I didn't make anything to put around it, no like coverings or closures, excuse me, or anything like that. I like it the way it is. To me, this isn't something that somebody's going to be carrying with them. It's not one of those ones you take with you. It's one of those beautiful pieces that grace your home. And it's a nice conversation piece when you have your friends over for tea, or it's a nice gift to give to someone. Okay? All right, you guys. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If anyone's interested in any custom work, go ahead and message me. And thank you so much, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.